There you go. Hey. Oh, these are so cool. And you got. Is that ginger flower looks like. Now, if this is shampoo ginger. So something not that chill happened last night. You might be able to tell what it is looking at the background behind me. Welcome back to Molnar's Garden. So I got Versace behind me because I'm gonna have Olivia run the clip right now to show you guys everything that happened last night. All right, so I wasn't gonna film any of this, but I don't know how this guy has now survived his second dog attack. I don't know if he's gonna make it through the night, but he looks shaken up, but okay. It does unfortunately look like we lost Coco. Well, Versace is a goddamn champ right there. Well, there's Coco on the other side. It's definitely what did it. Ah, fucking hell, man. As you saw in the clips, Coco is no longer with us. We had a dog get into the chicken run last night. Coco, our silky hen, is gone. Versace, our alpha rooster, I don't know how he survived. I thought he was dead when I walked into the coop. He was laying there on the ground. His eyes were closed. He lifted up his head just a little bit. I was getting ready to shoot the rooster thinking he was just beat the fuck up. And flipped him over and he had no damage on him. He just looked a little banged up. And so I was able to help him stand up and then put him into the coop. I wasn't sure if he was gonna make it through the night, but he did. So I'm very happy on that front. He's definitely banged up today. It looks like he might have had one of his wings pretty badly damaged, but other than that, he's being really quiet. He's taking the morning slow, but he's okay. That's the good news. And I'm not really sure exactly what we're gonna do going forward. This is not the first time I've had this issue with this property. This seems to be a reoccurring thing where neighbors don't control their dogs, and there's been multiple dogs that have come onto the property and tried to attack our stuff. We've also had some other incidents on the property you guys may have heard who watch our channel regularly. Anyways, I'm kind of thinking about it, talking with Olivia. What we're kind of thinking at the moment is we're going to go ahead and try and replace the silky hen that died with at least 3 more hens, white, exactly the same type of deal, because those were the ones we wanted to breed out and try and sell as part of our farm, were the silkies. That's why we had the roosters, we had the hen. She was our one hen that was laying for silky, and I was really looking forward to hatching out some of her eggs soon to try and expand the flock with the silkies, and that's just not going to happen anymore, unfortunately. So we're going to try and get some more silky hens that are laying so that we don't have to spend so much time waiting for them to mature and start breeding. On top of that, what I'm kind of thinking at the moment is I'm going to have to get a goose. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The dogs come inside all the time to help watch us as a family and sleep with us, and I need something out here at all times with the chickens because this happened at night. And I think the best solution is a goose. So we're gonna keep you guys posted on everything that happens. Hopefully Versace's okay, and Bougie, our other rooster who's the beta, doesn't end up becoming alpha because he's very ornery and he does not like me inside the chicken coop with the hens. And if he becomes alpha, I'm a little worried about how his behavior is going to be and him possibly getting even more aggressive while I'm trying to curb that behavior at the moment, since he's hit puberty and now all of a sudden thinks that he needs to control the girls as the beta. Which is part of why I love Versace, and I'm very glad that he didn't die, because every time Bougie has attacked me while I've been in the run trying to work with him, Versace comes up, or the alpha rooster, and will actually protect me. So he's an insane guard rooster for these chickens. He's survived now 2 dog attacks. The first one was Cane Corso. He got ripped out of the cage and got pulled off and was able to make it back to the coop. I don't know how that happened. There were 2 of them. I shot one. It's crazy stuff that's been going on at the farming, guys. And now we've had another dog come in and he survived this one too. So I'm very glad that he's alive, and Anyways, I don't really want to talk about this anymore. Let's get into what actually was supposed to be filmed for today. Ready, set, go. So what we were actually supposed to film today actually does have to do a lot with the chickens and some other things that are going on. Now, Olivia and I are about to head out to our local zoo here in Citrus County and check out some of the local wildlife that we have and show you guys all of it, because there's some things going on with this whole farm and stuff that we're doing, and the fact that, you know, a lot of what we're trying to do and how we grow things, you guys might have seen, we don't use fertilizers, we don't use any chemicals, and we do that a lot of the time, mostly not just for ourselves. We don't want to put any of that food into our, or any of those chemicals into our food and then into our bodies. We also don't want to have that go into the rainwater, the soil, and then poison all the wildlife around us, including things that you're going to see today and also in some upcoming videos. This is a new segment that we really are excited to get into, and I'm going to tell you some things on why we're kind of diving into this. There's a few reasons, and some of those are, one, not just because we like animals. Olivia and I are big animal fans. I grew up having my house always called a zoo because I was always obsessed with animals, and in Iraq I was running around trying to catch frogs and stuff because I just wanted a pet, and it's just how I am. Anyways, but essentially, getting into that whole Iraq vet stuff. So I am at the moment trying to quit using cannabis in any capacity whatsoever. Some of you who might have known me from before I started the YouTube channel might know that I have a background with using cannabis for medicinal purposes. I've had my license for like 10 years now, dealing with stuff ever since I got back from Iraq and some issues I've had with PTSD. I've been very vocal about that and some other capacities, but I want to start bringing that to the channel because one of the things that I've really noticed for me, and that's why we did a video recently on the relaxing with the chickens video. If you missed that, check that one out. That's the last one we're going to ever have of Coco. That was the last stuff we filmed before she was killed. But essentially, relaxing with the chickens, what we did there was, I've noticed for me that having PTSD, the farm, the plants, the animals, they really help in a therapeutic sense. And so I'm thinking that I want to try and quit cannabis and see if I can use the money that I would be spending on medicine to try and put it into the plants and animals and really build something out here where I don't need any type of medicine, and my house is actually my form of therapy, and complete it in that way. And so in that sense, we're going to try and bring some videos for you guys out in the way that I try and view the property and helps me with my stuff, for some of you out there to maybe see some things that can help you if you're dealing with it. I don't know how many of you out there watch me or in the veteran community or not, but if you are, hopefully this is something that helps. And if you don't, if you're not a veteran, hopefully it helps anyways. But essentially, it's my therapy, and I want to share it with you guys on how I'm doing it. And so we're going to probably try and bring out some more animals like that, probably try and bring some more animals into the farm. One of those animals that we're going to be getting is a goose. I'm pretty dead certain on that because of the fact that I need it to guard the chickens. So we're going to keep expanding out everything going on here at the farm and just trying to dive more into that with all of you. And so, in doing that, some of the animals that we want to try getting, we really want to do a lot with conservation work and trying to breed animals that are endangered and things like that. So we're going to go try and get no, I don't like that talk. We're going to finish up feeding the chickens and taking care of our kid, getting him breakfast and everything, and then we're going to pack up the car. We're going to go head to the zoo and check out some of the other wildlife around us and see what some enclosures look like, what some of the animals around here are. Florida, we can get some pretty crazy animals as pets, and so we are going to dive into that, because I'm swapping out my medical marijuana card for my wildlife permit card. That seems like a reasonable thing to do for therapy, doesn't it? Yeah! All right, so we are here at the Homosassa Springs Wildlife State Park. We are going to check out some of the native animals that are around us in our area to see exactly why we don't use chemicals, fertilizers, and we try and keep everything organic to protect these animals and who they are in our neighborhood. Stay tuned. So a bit of a confession, I haven't actually been here before. Olivia has. She came out with my parents and Revan once to check this place out. So it's my first time seeing it, her second time seeing it, but your guys' first, probably. Let's check this out. All right, so first question is, do we go that way or that way? That way has alligators. Those aren't ones we're looking to get on the farm. But you guys are gonna see a lot of animals here that we're not interested in having at all in any capacity. Alligators is probably one of them. But do we go that way? 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 Let's go that way. Check out this lagoon. We gotta work over to a better spot. You having fun, Bubs? Huh? Having fun? So one of the animals that's really cool that we have here in our area of Florida, especially being in Citrus County, Florida's nature coast, is we have a couple rivers out here, Crystal River, Homosassa Springs. We're still learning the area, but essentially there's a lot of freshwater river systems that the manatees use to ride out the winters here in Florida when the Gulf water gets too cold. And this is one of those animals that we've been talking about a lot. You guys might have seen us talking about specific potting soils we use when we have to import stuff that are used specifically in ways that help protect the manatees, because their ecosystems are very much under threat. They're a very cool animal that we are very much excited to be living next to and get some more experiences with, while at the same time being able to make sure that the way we grow our food helps protect them. So it's kind of a cool thing about the way we do the farm is the fact that we get to do conservation work just in the fact that how we grow what we grow, not even having to get any of the animals ourselves, which is something we want to do, and we're working on getting our wildlife licenses. We've been researching that like crazy and figuring out exactly what we need, but just knowing that we grow what we grow the way we do, helping to protect and preserve things like this naturally out in the wild is such a cool factor about why we do what we do. Go run. Is that not very fun? You look better in there? I'm gonna bring you guys up here because you guys, I'm sorry if my pans and everything aren't that smooth today. I'm still pretty shaken up from last night. Olivia's still in a bad mood, so we're trying to make the best of this that we can. But our game is probably not gonna be on point today, but we're doing what we can because you just gotta keep pushing through. You know, keep your hopes up high and your head down low. That's all you can do. So these are those manatees, you guys. I've never actually seen one in person until today, in all honesty. Now, there's a company that does tours here in the Nature Coast where they will take you out and go swimming with the manatees. Now, there's a particular tour group that has been quite supportive of our channel on Instagram. We like their stuff, they like our stuff, and so we think we're gonna have to jump out with them at some point and go swim with these guys. So right now, stop watching this video, hit like, hit subscribe, let us know down in the comments if you want to see us go swimming at the manatees, because if so, that might be a video in the next week or two that Olivia are gonna do. Let us know down in the comments below. Do you want us to see, words are hard, but do you want to see us swim with the manatees? Let us know. Oh, these are so cool. And you've got people swimming over there. I wonder how they got so lucky. I can't go swimming with you, I got a baby to take care of. Jesus Christ. Oh, they're so cool. On my phone. That's as close up as I can get you all. So there's this little viewing area where you can come down. They're taking the baby. There's some fishies. Some more fishies. There's the baby. So there's my hand close to the glass so you guys can get an idea of how big that thing is if I were to pet it. There we go. I apologize for the glare from the flash. So peaceful. Totally distracted, just wants to drink. Oh, this one came over. We'll swim with them. So you guys hit that subscribe button so we can go do shit like that. How cool is that? Algae.
Algae, yeah. Weird.
Coming back up from the underground viewing area, getting Revan strapped back in. Do one last pan on this lagoon area. It's just, this is incredible. Yeah, it's cooled off a lot because you came in summer, didn't you? Or did you come in winter last year?
It was when you were out of town.
So that would have been December.
Yeah, it was
last year.
Time, so it was a little colder.
Yeah. So if you're a veteran and you're wondering about this, I did ask them if they do anything for veterans to get in, and they did let me know that service-connected veterans do get in for free at this area. So if you're in the area looking for something to do, looking to get some hands-on experience with animals as far as being able to get and closer to them than what we can provide with a screen on YouTube, then come check this out. It's free of charge. Just show that you're a service-connected veteran and you get in. Pop quiz for everybody who watches our channel. What is the name of this plant behind me? If you watch our channel, you should know, but what is that? Go ahead, drop in the comments what it is and why it's beneficial here in Florida. Drop the comments down below, do it now. Not sure the variety on this one, but this is ginger. It kind of looks like my shampoo ginger I have at the house. Mine's not this big, it's still growing out. Eventually it will be though, but this is what ginger looks like as well for those of you who may be wondering. Shampoo ginger, I cannot wait to show you guys that one. I haven't actually talked about that one on the channel yet, but it is a plant that we have. I'm growing out, I'm propagating. It's one that produces out a flower. For those of you who don't know, it puts out a flower. You can squeeze the flower and the juice from the flower can be used directly as is as a shampoo and a body wash. So I'm very excited to bring that one out and show you guys that one more later. We'll talk about that as it grows out. Now we're having an issue deciding which way we're gonna go. Do we go that way? Or do we go that way? I think we'll go this way. See what's through here. We're gonna go this way and try and get away from the leaf blower so that you guys can hear us better. I need to find animals. I'm kind of geeking out on all the plants around here like this. I'm pretty sure, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm pretty sure this is wild coffee. This is non-caffeinated, but it does grow natively here in Florida. I'm pretty sure that was native coffee. There's quite a bit of it around actually. But yes, it is native to Florida. It doesn't have caffeine in it though. Oh, yes, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Just wasn't sure if it was. There's the little beans on it. There you go, native coffee. Yeah, Olivia found some too. So we have tried to grow actual Arabica coffee, the regular coffee that you get at the store, on our property, and we've had some struggles with it. So we're gonna keep trying it and see if we can make it work. But there is a native decaf version, essentially, that grows here in Florida. So we got some more gingers, some little ferns, not sure on the variety. I'm hoping to see a flower off of one of the gingers. So there it is, there it is. Oh, I got a flower right here. So you guys, this is what a ginger flower looks like. Now, if this is shampoo ginger, yep, that's shampoo ginger. Oh, you guys can't tell, but I mean, maybe if I squeeze it, you can see some of the juices come out. I'm gonna try and talk loud over the leaf blower, but you can take that liquid, like I said, and just rub it in your hair, on your body. It's nature's shampoo and body wash, and it's just growing like crazy here. So this is very cool because this isn't very far from my house. And so I'm very excited to see mine get thick like this. Because just look at all of the flowers back in here. And that's shampoo and body wash. I don't gotta worry about what's in it, what chemicals are in it. Sometimes there's microplastics in it and stuff. And we can use that without any concern whatsoever about what it does to us or the wildlife. Such a cool plant. Yeah, there's some turtles back over there. You guys can see them. I'll jump over to the sign so you guys can see, but pretty cool turtle enclosure they got right here. Let's see what they are. So in this setup, this is what they got. Looks like we got some peninsula cooters, which we have a lot over by our house. We have this place, lots of them. Yeah, anyways, yellow-bellied slider, Florida soft-shell turtle, Florida red-bellied cooter, Florida snapping turtle, and common non-native Florida freshwater turtles. So yes, very cool turtle setup. I don't know if we're gonna include turtles when we do our pond. We've debated it, but we do kind of, Olivia and I would like to have our pond set up so that we can swim in it as well, have it deep enough and clear enough. So I'm not sure if we're gonna add turtles, but very cool animals nonetheless. One other thing I wanna mention that I really like about this setup is all of this stuff. One of the coolest things about Florida is a lot of people get into this type of hobby, and all of the setups are very natural looking from what I see, and I very much like that. I want to keep that theme going on my property as I set up other enclosures for other animals as well. Now, obviously, the issues we're having with the neighbors' dogs and stuff, we're going to have to do some tweaking on security with the property, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And getting some inspiration for ideas on how this can work is so much fun. Apparently there's a baby. I'm gonna be quiet.
It didn't move from the leaf blower, so I don't know how long.
I see one. The watercolor here is absolutely gorgeous. It's like nothing out west. Got him? All right. If you want me to take him, let me know.
Oh, I got him. It's not a big
Okay.
deal.
Like I said, the manatees really like the freshwater springs and the river systems around our area because they can't survive in the cold water. And so these systems are very important for them. One of the things the manatees really struggle with a lot is their food source keeps getting destroyed, from my understanding, largely due to a high amount of nitrogen going out into the Gulf from a lot of the industrial stuff going on in Florida. Now, nitrogen can come into the water system in a few different ways. One of those ways is by fertilizers. Now, fertilizers largely end up not staying in the soil. They're very ineffective in as much as, I think it's roughly about 80% of the fertilizers that you put into the ground to try and feed your plants and everything will end up as runoff going back into the water systems that end up in places like the Gulf of Mexico or in our river systems that end up causing huge spikes in algal blooms, killing off the plant life within them, which then in turn hurts animals like the manatee that rely on grasses inside the Gulf and the river systems to survive. And so that, again, is part of why we do what we do, because by not using fertilizers, we're helping to not pollute the water systems. Now, granted, this is a conversation that's going on politically very heavily at the moment, so don't jump on me thinking that I'm saying everybody should ban fertilizers right off the bat. One way or the other, I don't have an opinion on that. I'm not gonna get into it. I am gonna tell you that this is what we are trying to do. Everybody has their own thing to do, and I'm not gonna get into the politics of it. This is just our personal choice and why we do what we do. If you agree with it, awesome. If you don't, I don't care. All right, so I just realized that me, Olivia, and Revan are all wearing some form of pink or soft red. I don't know how we do this, but every day we always end up all matching without even trying. One of us gets dressed, the other gets dressed, the third one gets dressed, and somehow we all end up matching, even though none of us have seen each other all morning, except one of us sees the baby because obviously he can't dress himself. But it's a weird phenomenon. I don't know how it is. Any of you have that happen with your spouse or significant other, partner, whatever you want to call it? So they had them in this little protected area.
Manatee salad bar.
So if you guys see down there, it says Manatee Salad Bar. One of the things we've been hearing that gets done here in Florida recently is there's been some efforts to try and feed the manatees lettuce to help them get through the winter. And so I've been working on, the beds aren't there yet. I got to keep building up the soil, but I do keep looking around, trying to figure out who I got to talk to so that when things get going, Olivia and I would like to have at least one of our beds dedicated to growing leafy greens specifically for the manatees, and then hand them off to the parks guys or whoever it is that feeds them. Hopefully be able to provide a food source to help keep the manatees supplemented through winter since they need it. And we got the extra space, so it'd be really cool to have a bed or two that could be dedicated just to feeding them, but we got to build up the soil, so I got to keep working. On the deer, and here's the deer that are in Florida. It looks like there's just white-tailed deer as far as the signs tell us so far. Now out in Utah, where Olivia and I came from to here, we had mule deer that make these look like, even though they're full grown, to be just babies. You can see kind of size comparison with Olivia standing right there. They just really aren't that big compared to what we're used to and having walk up right to your doorstep in the middle of winter out in Utah. For heat. Go. Hi. I don't got nothing to feed you, I'm sorry.
She's very friendly.
Very. Should we put deer on the property at some point?
I'd be down.
Well, Olivia says she's down for deer. I don't know if I am. I don't know if that's one I'd want. Do you guys think that's one you would? Ugh. I can't talk today. I'm struggling. But is that an animal that you guys would want if you had the chance to? Would you own deer? Because I'm not sure if I would. There's some of those land flamingos that we get on our property. They're not actually called land flamingos, you guys. I just call them that because I think it's funny. I believe they're an American fungus, if I remember correctly. There's a bigger gator up here. We'll go check it out. Are actually one that we could have as a pet, and like I said about the hippos, I don't know that I wouldn't want a hippo, but I might be down for this. I would be more interested in having a crocodile than a hippo, by far. Now, gator, we could have as a pet at some point. We would definitely need a bigger property for it. Oh, but I love lizards. And reptiles. I like snakes a lot too, but Olivia hates them, so we're having to find some compromises because she doesn't like snakes, I do. So maybe some bigger reptiles with legs could suffice. All right, I don't know what's in this enclosure or if there is even anything, but it's a cool enclosure. Oh, we do. We got a little owl. It should be some type of burrowing owl. That's just a burrowing owl? All right. See, I do know some things about animals, you guys. I am actually better at animals than I am plants. That's more of my background. The plants I got into mostly because of COVID and just trying to feed my family, even though I do like plants too. It's a pretty cool little owl. Like you can see with these enclosures, I try and mimic some of this stuff with the chickens. That's why I like putting my chickens into kind of more of the forest area, because you get this type of natural look on how the animals would actually be living in the wild, and that's exactly what I want for my animals, because I feel like it works better for them psychologically to make sure that they are happier, but it also helps me and Olivia to be able to enjoy them to the fullest and really get us something that helps relax us, calm us down, really make us appreciate the animals. And it's just better for everybody when they're in more of a natural environment than just some metal cage. Trying to keep them happy by creating a kind of natural environment that gives them something to do rather than just sit in a cage. Enrichment is the term for animals when you're trying to make sure that they are happy and healthy, mentally stimulated and all that stuff. Make sure that they've got some stuff to do. It's a good way to go for animals. Definitely keep your eye on that type of stuff as you're going through. I'm having a problem thinking of what to do. There's a lot of people I'm weaving my way around through, but you guys get the point. So we're not finding the river otters in the enclosure, but a very cool enclosure for them nonetheless. You wanna go check out the reptile house?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. All right, so we're in the reptile exhibit. We got one snake back there. I can't see too well. Maybe I'll go jump around out front again. It looks like there's a viewing. Yeah, here we go. There's a viewing area next to the Coca-Cola machine. Can I get the head? The tail is a good length though. It's got a nice, I don't know if it's gonna show on camera well, but it's kind of like a brownish red. I'll have to see if Olivia can mess with the coloration and saturation stuff on editing, but there you go. There's the snake. I'm not sure on what kind this is. Now on our property, it looks like we have mostly black racers and some type of corn snake. I'm not exactly sure, but we don't really have much venomous snakes here to worry about, other than I think there's like one rattlesnake and then water moccasin. I gotta look more into those, but I've been told water moccasins, if you get bit by that, you're going to a funeral. So don't. Now, one thing I'm going to point out with snakes is you see the eye right here. This is kind of my giveaway that a snake is venomous versus not venomous. If you notice the pupil is circular, that's usually a good giveaway that the snake is not venomous. Whereas vipers, the viper family tends to be the venomous snakes, things like rattlesnakes and other things, and those will have a slit, kind of that just line that goes down rather than the circular pupil, such as this snake. All right, perfect. So now I come in and I find some type of viper. I'm not sure what this is. I'll find it in a second, but I want to show you guys the eyes so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. You see how, okay, so it's timber rattlesnake. Olivia found it. I don't know if it's showing well on camera because its eye is very, very small right now. But if you look closely, instead of having that circular pupil like the last snake, this one's just a line, that kind of slit. That's typical in these types of snakes. And that's your venomous. Now, one thing that I have a problem with a lot of snakes that I like is I've always wanted things like an anaconda, especially a green. That's been a lifelong dream pet of mine, but unfortunately with Florida, there's a lot of issues with people's animals getting out, and now certain pets have been banned, like the anaconda. So I don't think that's a snake I'm ever going to get, unfortunately, here in Florida. But there's some other ones that I have in mind. I don't have any interest in venomous ones, or do I? So not exactly the perfect setup for what I would want personally, but Olivia and I have agreed if I'm going to get snakes, it's gonna have to be in some type of room external from the house like this, so she doesn't have to worry about if they escape ending up in her bed, because she's terrified of snakes. I hate spiders, she hates snakes. What about for you guys? Do you have a difference between snakes and spiders? Which one do you fall in on which is worse for you? Let us know in the comments below. Supposedly there's a bobcat in here. Now I have ran out, well, God, still can't talk, but I have ran into these in the wild before, and highly aggressive, but they do tend to like to keep their distance a bit. They're not like mountain lions in my experience that will stalk you along cliff walls when you're walking through the canyon, but let's see. I don't know if that helps up here. But bobcats, in my experience, will typically keep their distance, whereas the mountain lions will actually stalk you through the canyons. So we haven't talked about the animals that we want to get very much yet, but Olivia and I are going to go ahead and drop one of them. We are very much interested in flamingos and getting some. Flamingos are native to Florida, were around here very much until a few decades ago. Their population is in decline, has been trying to reestablish. Breeding flamingos is actually very difficult from what we understand, and so we really want to try and get on board with helping out with those efforts. We like flamingos, we like birds, and they're native here, and so they're a very cool exotic one that is also native, and we'd really like to try and help bring them back, because it's... Go look at the story on flamingos, you guys. It's not very cool. They got hunted pretty badly because of, I believe, if I remember right, it was the fashion industry. And so we'd like to try and bring those back here in Florida and have them walking around wild, just like we have with the what I call the land flamingos, the little white ibises that walk around our yard and stuff. It'd be cool to have flamingos too. Yeah, so we got a mountain lion in here. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera, so right back there. So cool cats, a lot of people really like. You can see the display they got of it. That's pretty sick. I've had some bad experiences with them though, like I said, out in Utah, trying to stalk me from the canyon, cliff walls and everything. It's not fun when you've got a mountain lion, puma, whatever you want to call it, that's about 50 feet over your head on the cliff and keeps disappearing and popping back up a few feet down. That is not fun. But of course, there's Olivia making cat sounds. Yeah, Olivia is the cat one. I'm more into the birds and the reptiles, and she's into the cats. So for those of you who've been watching our channel and know that we have two cats, I've never had a cat until I met Olivia. Like I said, she's the one that got us into cats kind of deal. I like cheetahs. They're about the only cat that I've ever liked, and I've never owned one. But Olivia likes them. She's really good with them. I'm more for birds, so you guys are probably gonna see.
I got you into cats, so now you're a cat lover.
Fair. I didn't even realize this guy was here.
Oh my gosh.
He moved, not at all, and then just barely blinked as I walked up.
Yeah, buddy.
He was just chilling.
Look, Brevin. Look at the birdie. Revan. He's like eating goldfish.
Let me flip the camera around so you guys can see how close I am to him. I'm not going to try and disturb him, but didn't move while I walked up to him. Very cool enclosure though. Got running water going through there with all the birds.
Is that a statue or is that a real bird?
That's a real bird.
That's a bird.
He looks like a statue.
I thought so too, but he blinked as I walked up.
He blinked.
Yeah.
That is cool. Do you have 2 feet, dude? Is the other one tucked
Oh,
away?
yeah.
I think it's tucked away.
Looks like he wants goldfish.
Oh, okay. That's what it seems like. I make the best one. That is cool. He's got
He's just eyeing Revan's goldfish. So apparently Revan's eating some goldfish right now, and that's what the bird's eyeing. Can I get you on camera moving again so you can just show everybody that you are in fact alive? I don't know what kind of bird it is, but... There you go. Hey! What are you doing? You just hanging out? You gonna give the tour today? It's always cool to me to check out the birds in different areas that I go to. The different sounds they make and everything like that is so crazy. Sandhill cranes are out here and everybody loves to tell me about sandhill cranes, but the funny thing is I'm actually used to those from Utah because we have them out there as well. Even though they're endangered and everything else, we do have them. So I've seen them before, but sometimes you get some birds that either exist in a place or don't exist in a place, and it throws the whole thing off and just makes it weird to me. I don't know about you guys, but when I went out to Hawaii with Olivia for our honeymoon, we spent about 2 weeks on Waikiki, and one of the things that just tripped me out like crazy was every day we were on the beach and I didn't hear a single seagull. It just felt weird. I didn't like how quiet it was at the beach. It was weird to me. I don't know how else to explain it. Was it weird to you too? Not having seagulls at Hawaii beach?
Yeah, it felt off.
It just felt quiet.
Almost, just because we're used to the seagulls.
Exactly.
So they can fly out.
I don't know if they clip his wings so he can't fly out, but this is a red-tail hawk, you guys. We get red shoulder hawks on our property quite a bit. Oh, look, there's another bird.
Oh, buddy.
Crested caracara.
Yeah. You got it. There's one right there. Where is it?
Behind the tree. If you come over to me, you can see it better. Let me zoom out so the picture's a little clearer. Oh, there's the hawk. I don't know if it has its wings clipped or if it has an injured wing. It almost looks like that right wing might be injured.
Maybe
You can
that's
see,
why it's here.
yeah, it probably is. You can see the feathers hanging down quite a bit right there. Zoom in. It's not going to be clear, you guys. I'm sorry, but let me show you. It looks like, yeah, he's got his right wing's been injured. Poor guy.
So Versace's wing might not heal?
Might not, but it might. We'll have to keep an eye on Versace and see if his wing heals or if he ends up like this hawk. And what is splashing over there? We got some pelicans going. But anyways, you guys, real quick before I move on to the pelicans, I wanted to talk about the hawks. There are lots of hawks around here. I've had talks with some of my neighbors who don't like the hawks. Oh, we got a bald eagle I got to show you guys real quick too. But essentially with the hawks, some of the neighbors don't like them because they can eat things like your fish out of your pond or other things like your animals, cats, whatever. We don't have any issue with that. And we like to keep the hawks around because they take care of squirrels, rabbits, things like that on our property that help protect all of the stuff that we're growing. So the hawks are a very important part of the ecosystem. As much as you might think you want to get rid of them, you don't. Because whatever problem you think is bad with the hawks, it's going to be a lot worse if you start getting rid of their habitat. There's that bald eagle I promised you. And of course they got the America flag to go with the bald eagle. Very fitting. You see him back in there?
That's what you do in the bathtub.
Yeah, it is what Revan does to the bathtub, except unlike the pond, the water goes all over my floor. Here we go. This is the main enclosure I wanted to check out. This is the real reason I came here today, you guys. So as you can see here, the flamingos do require quite a bit of space in order to work. And from what I understand, for a flock of flamingos, you usually want about 20. Yeah, I said 20. So we got one right here. I'm trying to find where more of them might be. It looks like they got feeding trays out for them and everything right now. So you got one straggler who's still trying to eat, and the other ones are up here. Now, in the United States, there is a That was a cool sound. But there's a particular type of flamingo, like I said, once common in South Florida and as far north as Tampa Bay, our area. Now there's a particular flamingo that's native to the United States. There's a couple different varieties of flamingos around the world. This one is the only one. It's called an American flamingo or a Caribbean flamingo, from what I understand by common speak. And this is the kind that we want to get. There's a lot of screeching going on behind me. Like I said, gorgeous birds. I absolutely love them. I would love to see them in my yard one day, but I don't think it's going to be on this property. I don't think the pond I'm going to be digging out is going to be set up for the flamingos. They require a very particular type of habitat setup. They do require a larger flock in order to try and breed, which would be the goal of getting flamingos, is to try and breed them, reestablish the population here in Florida, potentially try and partner up with Florida's state wildlife and park services and see if we could try and work with them on breeding and releasing and reestablishing a wild population here in Florida as best as we can on our own personal efforts. That's the goal. That's one of our dreams. So if you like that dream, hit subscribe to help us pursue that type of dream. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, while we've been looking at what it would be like to try and do some of these animals, the flamingos have happened to be one of the hardest ones that we're looking at trying to get our hands on and learn how to do it, because of the fact that they are so difficult to breed and you do have to get so many of them. They are a very expensive one. This is not one we're expecting to do immediately, but we're hoping somewhere down the road. And that's why we're here today, is try and get some ideas, inspiration, see how things are set up, because we expect this to be a long process for, you know, the next 20, 30 years of our life, because we don't really want to do anything else except hang out with cool animals like this, play with some dope plants, and eat some healthy stuff that has, well, we actually know what's in it instead of it being surprises.
Yeah, it's like I can see it. I'd be down for a fox.
I know you would, but they will eat our chickens.
Well, if we had more land and lots of fences.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'd need more land. So you guys, I'm gonna throw this out there real quick, because we're talking a lot about animals that a lot of people probably would think would be cool as pets, but in all honesty, don't make good pets. Olivia mentioned foxes just barely. Now, there are people out there who breed kind of a domesticated fox, so to speak, where they've been bred to try and breed out some of the more wild instincts and make them a little bit more domesticated, but they aren't truly a domesticated animal. Foxes are a wild animal. They aren't a dog. Don't get them thinking it's just going to be like your Yorkie or anything like that and you can keep them. They are animals that are not going to do well in an apartment, a condo, or anything like that. If you're thinking of,
apparently. It's like exotic cats, and they're like foxes. They'll pee on everything. They're very hard to potty train, like, so.
yeah, Olivia's talked with some breeders and stuff in the past. We've thought about it and decided it wasn't a good fit for us at the time. Still isn't. So don't just see what we're seeing and think it looks cute and you're going to go out and get it. These are animals. They're living things. They have specific needs. They have their own type of personalities and their own type of behavior and their own instincts, just like you or I do. They need to be treated with the proper respect and given the right type of environment to make sure that they are happy, healthy, friendly, don't cause any destruction to you, your property, or all of your stuff. Foxes will do that. They will. A good example for a dog would be like a husky. Take a husky and throw it in an apartment. See how that goes for you. Huskies like to kill small animals, just like foxes, and they can also be very destructive inside an apartment. So take a husky, put it on steroids, there's your fox. Don't get one, you guys. Circling back around, but we're gonna check out this because we're probably about on our way out, but the hippo's eating now. And even though I'm not a fan of hippos, I know some people are, so I'll come over and show you guys. Yeah, they're a cool animal, I guess. I just am not a fan. Don't get me wrong, I respect the animal. That's part of why I'm not a big fan of them. They're one I keep my distance from. They're highly aggressive. I don't like how unpredictable they can be. So it's not one that I ever have any intention of getting hands-on with. I would rather have something like a Komodo dragon than a hippo. So I think that pretty much completes our walk through this area. Yeah, okay. So what was your favorite thing here?
Probably the flamingos and the kitty kitties.
The kitty kitties. Of course. Olivia thinks every cat is a house cat that just
No, I
belongs in bed to cuddle with and love and pet.
No.
I know, I'm just kidding. But she does have a soft spot for cats. I agree about the flamingos. I think they are by far the coolest. The manatees were dope as well, because like I said, I haven't been able to see those in person. Olivia just agreed, her too. Let us know down in the comments below what your guys' favorite part of today was. If you liked today's video and if we should do more of these types of things, let us know what your favorite was, if we should do more, all that good stuff. Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on. As always, we'll catch you next time. Molnar's out. I know I canceled the video and it was supposed to be over, but I just talked to the information guy as I was on my way out, asking if they have volunteer stuff going on here, because I really want to get my hands on the flamingos. Kind of told him a bit of what we're doing, and he gave me a card with somebody's name and number to call. I'm gonna have to make a phone call.
Continue.
What's up, Coco? Hey, girl. Say hi, Snoop.